Hello, and welcome back to Classic Times. Today, I'll be going through Stage 13 of the Cambridge Latin course, the first stage in Book 2, and I'll be explaining the topics of the words Possum, Volo and Nolo, as well as infinitives. Okay, let's begin. Possum, Volo and Nolo are all irregular verbs and must be learnt separately. They're always followed by an infinitive, which has the ending re and is translated as a to verb. For example, celerita correre possum. This means I am able to run quickly. And secondly, servi laborare nolabant. This means the slaves did not want to work. Notice how in both of these sentences the infinitive correre and laborare are translated as to run and to work. Now let's take a closer look at the verb posse, meaning to be able to or can. So in the present tense, it declines like this: possum, potes, potest, possumus, potestis, possunt. And you'll notice here how the endings follow the present tense endings of the verb to be, which are sum est, summus estis sunt. And in the imperfect tense, potteram, potteras, potterat, potteramus, potteratis, potterant. And these endings follow the imperfect tense endings of the verb to be. Finally, the perfect tense, potui, potuisti, potuit, potuimus, potuistis, potuerant. And these are the endings of regular perfect tense verbs. So you'll notice, even though this verb is irregular, it still follows a regular pattern of endings. It's only the stem of the verbs which are different from the infinitive. Okay, now let's take a look at wele, meaning to want or to wish. In the present tense, it declines like the following: wallow, wis, wolt, volumus, woltis, wolant. So the endings follow the present tense endings of most verbs. So ost, mustis, unt. So that's nice and regular. However, the stems change, so this is a rather nasty one to learn. In the imperfect tense, wolebam, wolebas, wolebat, wolebamus, wolebatis, wolebant. These follow the regular imperfect tense endings of verbs. And in the present tense, wolui, wolisti, woluit, woluimus, wolistis, woluerant. These follow the regular perfect tense endings of verbs. So all of these endings follow a pattern. However, the stems change, especially in the present tense. Finally, nolle, meaning to not want or not wish. So in the present tense, nolo, non wis, non wolt, nolumus, non woltis, nolant. In the imperfect tense, the verb nolle declines in the exact same way as wele, with the imperfect tense endings. And in the perfect tense, it also declines in the same way, with the perfect tense endings. So if you haven't already done so, I would highly recommend learning your basic endings for the present, imperfect, and perfect tense. And finally, before we move on to some vocab, let's look at the topic and. So the suffix QUE can be added on to the end of a word in a Latin sentence. For example, pueri, puelaique, and this means boys and girls. So this suffix que simply can be used instead of et to mean and. And finally in this example, Dominus ex equo descendit villamque intravit. The master got off his horse and went into the house. This is quite a simple topic, and all you need to remember is that a Latin word with que on the end is essentially just like having the word et in the sentence, and just translate it with the word and. Now let's have a look at some new vocabulary. Advenire, to arrive. Edificium, building. Iger, sick or ill. Alter means the other. Cantare, to sing. Ceteri, the others. A custos is a guard. Dicere, to say. Excitare, to arouse or to wake up. Fessus, tired. Interficere, to kill. Itavero, yes. Nolunt, I do not want. Novus, new. Nullus, not any or no. Possum, I am able or I can. Ruere, to rush. Se, himself. Trahere, to drag. Vita is life. Volo means I want. And vulnerare is to wound. And you'll notice that I've listed the verbs in the infinitive form. Okay, here are some examples. Loquax cantare volt. This means Loquax wants to sing. Servi dominum videre nolunt. The slaves don't want to see the master. Pueri celerita currere possunt. The boys are able to run quickly. And notice how the verbs volt, nolunt and possunt are always followed by an infinitive. I'd now like you to have a go at translating these sentences. So pause the video and have a go at those. Now let's go through the answers. Varica servos ancilasque expexit. Varica examined the slaves and the slave girls. Nos effugere non possumus. We are not able to escape. Coquus canam optimam parare potest. The cook is able to prepare an excellent dinner. Really well done if you got all of those 3 right. Although, if you only got 2 or 1 right, don't be too disheartened, that's still good going. Keep it up. Now let's have a look at the passage Tres servi. Tres servi in villa laborant. Haec villa est in Britannica. Servi diligenta laborant, quod dominum expectant. Servi vitam suam deplorant. This means 3 slaves are working in the house. This house is in Britain. The slaves are working carefully because they are waiting for their master. The slaves are complaining about their lives. Philus pecuniam numerat, iterum pluit, semper pluit, nos solem numquam videmus, ego ad Italiam redere Volo, ego solem videre Volo. Counting money. Philus. It is raining again. It is always raining. We never see sun. I want to return to Italy. I want to see the sun. This sounds a bit like the UK, to be honest. Volubilis. Caenam incelina parat. Ubi est vinum. Nullum vinum video. Quis horsit. Ego aquam bibere non possum. Aqua est foida. Preparing dinner in the kitchen. Volubilis. Where is the wine? I don't see any wine. Who drank it? I cannot drink water. Water is foul. So Volubilis seems rather spoiled, doesn't he? Bregans. Pavimentum lauat. Ego laborare Nolo. Fessus sum. Multum vinum bibi. Ego dormire Volo. Washing the floor. Bregans. I do not want to work. I am tired. I drank much wine. I want to sleep. Uh-oh, I think we now know what's happened to the wine. Varica subito villam intrat. Varica est villicus. Varica servi. Dominus noster iratus advenit. Apud canticos servi conjurationem fecerunt. Dominus est vulneratus. Bregans. Nos de hac conjuration audire volumus. Rem narra. Varica suddenly enters the house. Varica is the manager. Varica. Slaves. Our master arrives angry. The slaves made a plot among the cantici. The master is wounded. Bregans. We want to hear about this plot. Tell the story. Okay, we've now covered stage 13 of the Cambridge Latin course, so let's summarise. The words posse, vele and nole are all irregular verbs. However, they do follow a regular pattern of endings, and they are always followed by an infinitive. Infinitives usually end in re and are translated as a to verb, for example, to walk or to eat. And finally, the suffix que is added on to the end of a word and is simply translated as and. So thanks for watching, and join me in my next video where I'll be covering stage 14 of the Cambridge Latin course.